right, so I'm flying solo today, and I figured I better put out a review of something that's actually new. And it took me a little while to get to this one, The Samaritan. I haven't been really that pumped to see it. It's just kind of like the next thing that's there. And going to the theater by myself didn't seem like an appetizing proposition. But then I found out it's on Amazon Prime. I said, okay, I could do that. And then it still took me another night to, really decide to sit down and watch it. And we're going to start off this review with a couple of viewer questions that were mailed to me. The first one is from Dawn. Hey guys, I really liked Unbreakable by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Bruce Willis and Channing Tatum. I heard it's really like that movie. Is it? Okay, first of all, Channing Tatum wasn't in that movie. And no, it's not like that movie. It has a completely different title and everything. The next one is by Mark. I heard this is better than Rocky. Is that true? The nuanced answer to that is no. And the blunt answer to that is that's the stupidest question I've heard since birth. This is Sylvester Stallone's take on the reluctant hero, I guess, the regular Joe just living his life, not wanting to be known. The movie starts off with a backstory that's animated. Well, kind of half animated. You see it's live action, but there's an animation on top of it, and I thought that was fantastic. And it tells the story of these twin brothers that grew up with these superpowers, and they turn against each other, one for good, one for bad, and then they have this ultimate duel, and one of them is lost, and the other one survives but then disappears. So there's this quest by everybody out to find where did the Samaritan go. We believe he still lives. Where is he? And there's books written, and there's this one kid that's a fan of the Samaritan, and he's dedicating his time to try and track him down. Kind of like the Elvis Lives things. You're going, you're putting together clues where he might be, and he does find him. And so if you want to know what this movie is like, imagine Ben Kenobi finds Luke in A New Hope after the Sand People attack him. And then they spend the next 3.5 weeks in his hovel just, eating ice cream and talking about their feelings and stuff. That's pretty much this movie. If you're into that, go to Amazon Prime and watch this movie. If you're not into that, I'd recommend skip it. Watch a rerun of Mork and Mindy or some kind of cooking show on TV. The movie takes place in some kind of Gotham. There's like garbage everywhere. It looks like the people around you are like, they're hard up. They're just barely surviving. You figure like if you walk around the corner, you're going to be murdered. It's that kind of place. So I figure basically every neighborhood in North America in about 2 years. There's a few scenes in this that are just, maybe you should have recut that. There's the typical cheesy action line. He sticks a bomb in somebody, it explodes, and he says, "Have a blast." He's going to rescue a child. He knows where he is. He's going to load up his garbage truck with these, I guess, flammable barrels, and he's going to ride into that building where he's trying to rescue a boy. He's riding into the building where the boy is with these flammable barrels. I didn't get that. Earlier in the movie, you see him get run over by a car, and it almost completely wrecks him. But 4 trillion bullets don't seem to do anything to him. So I don't know what's with that, what exactly his superhero powers are. You figure 4 trillion bullets would have done something, but no, he just shrugs them off like they're not even shooting at him. The hero in this movie doesn't have a call to action until an hour 10 into the movie. The movie's only an hour and 42 minutes long, and you think, oh, finally, I don't have to sit through a 2.5 hour movie. Well, no, it feels like a 2.5 hour movie because they're not getting to it. He's a reluctant hero, all right. All the way an hour and 10 minutes in the movie, he doesn't do anything. At one point, an hour into the movie, the bad guys find him, and there's a little bit of a scuffle. Okay, well, it took me an hour to get here, but now it's starting up. No, there's still an hour, another 10, 11 minutes before he decides to do something. So that's pretty crappy. If you're looking for action, the whole last part of the movie, just like Rambo. Remember Rambo? Okay, you had all that drama with the what, trafficking, human trafficking, or something like that, and then it turns into last 10 minutes of Home Alone. Okay, that's what this is. There's lots of action right at the very end, and it's just the typical 80s action stuff where there's lots of fire and explosions and bullets, but nothing of real substance. He does eventually fight the bad guy, and it's you know, the typical duel. He finds himself on the ground, even though the bad guy has no superpowers. He finds himself on the ground and suddenly gets reserves from somewhere to get up and win the day, kind of thing. And then, I don't know, it's a happy ending. Okay, so if you're talking about movies, this is a streaming movie through and through. Was it bad? No, like, it's fun to watch Sylvester Stallone. The kid did a pretty good job as a, you know, child actor and all. I don't really like child actors, but he did a pretty good job. There's this one sniveling rat bad guy for the kid, and whenever he comes on screen, you just hate him. So he did a really good job. I liked watching him. He was kind of like that It's a Wonderful Life, I think it was, the redhead baddie. He just played a really good kid bad guy. Cyrus, who is the main bad guy in this, his whole deal is that he wants to take apart the city and fight for the underclasses, the workers. And so basically they're saying that, okay, Robin Hood's a bad guy now. Okay, thanks Bezos for giving us that tale. Cyrus himself was a pretty good actor. He's kind of like, exactly like Ewan McGregor. If Ewan McGregor put on about 40 pounds of muscle, grew 6.5 inches, had an American accent, exactly the same. So if that appeals to you, Samaritan is for you. If that sounds really crappy to you, like I said, get Tubi. Do you know about Tubi? Tubi is like, I'm not sponsored by Tubi. Tubi is like the alternate Netflix. So if you're looking for like forgotten movies or like rip-off cartoon movies or things like that, there's a whole bunch of them on Tubi, and Tubi is free. But on Tubi, you can find something good. I've been loving it. So I would suggest you check that out. And like, only if you're really, really, really bored and don't mind getting more bored, tune in to The Samaritan on Amazon Prime. All right, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Movie Related.
He said, son, I made a life out of watching lots of movies. Some of them were garbage, some of them were nice. Now Donnie, he's off cruising, and Paul and I are troopers. So if you've got a minute, we'll give you some advice. You gotta know when to go, know when to stay home, know when to stream it, know when to run. You just might save some money when you listen to our review. There'll be time enough for movies when the review's done.